Black Power Hotep, y'all. Once, as always, giving honor to the Creator and the ancestors. Giving honor to you all, brothers and sisters, all my subscribers, all the brothers and sisters of melanated people all over the planet Earth. What I want to talk about, and I'm going to dedicate this brief clip to Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, who, along with myself, have committed ourselves for change in terms of the black community, primarily the youth, primarily black males in general, and particularly the youth. In 1967, Oak Hill was established, and it stayed open from 1967 to 2009. You know, during that time, you had 3 generations of males come through that institution. You know, the youths of today, their parents and their grandparents have came through Oak Hill, through the juvenile justice system. You know, and the horrible conditions there with rats, roaches, the horrible food that was served there, the horrible living conditions, the uncommitted staff there that treated these children like animals, caged animals. You know, which was a breeding ground for the penitentiary in the minds and hearts of our youths. You know, which the little bit of hope that they may have thought that they were going to receive in those institutions in terms of a correctional system was diminished the minute they walked through the door. You know, so, and that was one of the reasons why myself and Brother Harris Abdul, we started the Street Law Soldiers as working in these group homes and shelter houses all across the city and in the DMV. We saw the abuse and neglect that was taking place in these facilities. That people were just warehousing these babies for the purpose of them receiving checks. You know, which resulted into one of my terminations of one particular facility that I was working in, because of the fact that, you know, they were more concerned about making sure that they come back so they will have a check, constantly have a paycheck coming, and not doing anything to rehabilitate, you know, these babies. When I say babies, I'm talking like, you know, 14 to 20. You know, these are our youth, these are our children, these are our babies, these are our grandbabies. And so, you know, we really committed ourselves to and to saving these babies, and at the same time, you know, undergoing and enduring a lot of scrutiny, a lot of red tape, a lot of blackballing, a lot of backstabbing, and a lot of false pretenders that displayed and behavior and verbalization that they were about the children, when in fact they cared nothing about them. You know, as long as they received the check. You know, and that's one of the reasons why on our next newspaper, you know, it's a tribute to Brother Harris Abdul. So and that's, you know, as a result of people like Brother Harris, I was able to, you know, have somebody work beside me that was in the same mind frame that I was in, that was willing, you know, to go toe to toe with with the fucking DC government as to making some changes within the system. In 2009, they closed Oak Hill, you know, after several runaways, thousands of staff on inmate rapes, and I don't like to use the term inmates when I'm talking about children, but just for the sake of, you know, the listening audience understanding, I'll just use that term. And as a result, once again, of the staff raping inmates and inmates raping inmates, because hurt people hurt people. Oak Hill finally closed in 2009, and they created this new facility down there in Laurel, Maryland, called A New Beginnings, which is a 60-bed facility. Which is more of a showcase. It's really not hands-on. Getting in the dirt. As far as understanding, working with the youth. It's just everybody wants to profit off their minor participation and their ounce of commitment in terms of helping our babies. But we have to understand that now you have created a generation of angry predators, drug dealers, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, burglars, thieves that are uneducated with no vocational skills, no social skills, limited resources, very limited resources, particularly in Ward 7 and 8, which is the most povertized part of DC, which is separated by the Anacostia River, and which is primarily consists of in the black areas of just project housing, which is so rat and roach infested and crime and drug ridden. Even in the schools, we had a school in Ward 8 which was closed down, an elementary school for babies that was closed down because of rat droppings in the food, in the children's food, and bed bugs in a school where they had to close it down. But you would never hear no shit like that, in Falls Church in Fairfax or Montgomery County, Howard County. You would never hear about no shit like that, because the outrage of the community would be so enormous that it would become nationwide. But the residents in DC don't have a voice because it's not considered a state, and this place is a police state. This is a police operated city, because you have city police, special police, housing police. In every building you got a different special police company all over here. United States Police, Park Police, United States Protective Services, U.S. Capitol Police. It's a police city. And the blacks and the most povertized blacks are contained in certain parts of the city. And the whites, which they just run through here, like they own DC. And they're not bothered. Every time it's a cracker missing, every time something is done to a cracker, he's, tore off and fucked up or stabbed up or the shit beat out of him on one of these metro trains. They make a big fucking issue out of it. It's all on all the news stations, But what about the juveniles? What about our babies? What about the adults that are going to die tonight, in this city? You never even hear of them. The only way you hear of them is through a relative's phone call, that's passed through the grapevine. So and then you motherfuckers talking about some Black Lives Matter. It don't matter for shit in DC, because we don't allow it to matter, because we are trained and domesticated here in DC. The only way you can make a living here is you work for the government or you subcontracted through the government. Because the private sector doesn't, pay enough for an individual to actually live on their own, his or her own, not a black person. And you got crackers that come from all parts of the country that are contracted with the federal government, and they come here and they buy these houses and they get these fucking government grants to renovate these motherfucking homes, and then what they do is now they flip the houses and sell them, for millions of motherfucking dollars. And you still have black families still paying motherfucking taxes on their homes that's been living here all their motherfucking life. But we don't say anything because of the fact that we are so afraid of this motherfucking cracker. That's why I tell y'all, man. You be thinking in your mind that you're not scared of the motherfucking white man, but your ass is terrified of this motherfucker because you won't stand up and say nothing unless another person look like you does something or violates you. Then you go all out. You become a goddamn thug of the goddamn century when somebody looks like you does something to you, whether it's by intentionally or a motherfucking mistake. You don't even take time to even analyze that situation. You go head on with a motherfucker that look like you. And the vocational and social skills level, and particularly in War 7 and 8, is so low. If you listen to some of the lingo that some of the brothers and sisters come out their mouths with, it's sad. Hey Mo, what's up, Slim? What's up? What's good, Slim? Ain't nothing, Mo. What's up, Joe? And that's just a lingo of survival. Because proper diction hasn't been taught to a lot of our babies. And it's not their fault. They haven't been exposed to someone to sit down and teach them proper diction, proper etiquette, and things of that nature. So when they see somebody that looks like them using proper diction and etiquette, they look at them as being acting white or motherfucking Tom, and they ready to kill their ass. Which is not the case. It's about being able to shift gears and being able to adjust to any type of situation, any type of environment, and be able to stand toe to toe with any motherfucker on any level. Cause I can go to any level. I can stand toe to toe with a motherfucking Yale college professor, toe to motherfucking toe. Number one, I've studied. Number two, I'm a black God, and I got God energy in me, and I got confidence in myself where I'm determined I would never let a motherfucking cracker, talk me down. No matter if he use a 14-letter word, I can use a 6-letter word and be just as on the same level and just as powerful and pierce his motherfucking soul, just like the 14-letter word would do. And that's these are things that we try to teach our babies, because it's important. This stuff this is no joke. This is nothing to play with. This is nothing to procrastinate with. This is not a game. Everything in life and everyone's life is being recorded. 5 minutes from now is history. 2 minutes from now is history. 2 minutes ago was history. 5 minutes ago was history. And 5 minutes ahead of us is a fucking mystery. Because you don't know what's going to happen. So it's best, to do what you need to do as far as getting your motherfucking grind. Reach out for help. Don't let your image, block your motherfucking blessings. And that's what, as a people, we have to stand up and reach out, to help our brothers and sisters, man. Stop being so motherfucking selfish and stop being the only motherfucking one that wants it all so everybody can look up to you. That's a sign of low self-esteem. That shows that you are afraid to get down and get on the same level as everybody else, that you are afraid, that you might be exposed. What is it that you're hiding? And ask yourself, what is it about you? What is it about you that is something inside of you that you don't want nobody else to know? Or that you hope nobody else finds out? And only you know that answer. And everybody doesn't have that. And I'm not talking that in a negative sense. Because it doesn't work just in a negative sense. Some people have those same issues, but in a positive sense. Which in layman's term is called a motherfucking secret weapon. So we, It's time for us, man, to buckle down and help these babies, man. They're dying, man. You know, they're drugged out there in front of these stores begging for change, man. They don't know how, they don't have proper hygienic skills, you know, because they have been taught to fend for themselves, man. Because the generation before them, their parents were incarcerated and on drugs, man. And so a lot of things take place when you have a house full of unattended children. You know, incest, sexual abuse, physical, emotional abuse, fear, drug use, pornography, poverty, starvation, you know, lack of education. Nobody's there to help them with their homework, to help them raise their level of understanding in terms of what they need to do to raise themselves up and come out of the current conditions that they're in. Because poverty has been, in the black community, it has been passed down from generation to generation. The generation before us, those people worked all their lives past, didn't have nothing to leave for the generation ahead of them, and so on and so on. All this goes back to the days of chattel slavery. And like a lot of people make jokes about this 40-acre and a mule shit that wasn't given to us. But it was needed for us to have been able to, our ancestors, so they would have been able to get on their feet and have own property and own land to pass down from generation to generation. Because everybody else done it. Except us. You know, at the end of the day, we're the most fucked up people on the planet. You know, and how do you feel about that at the end of the day? That you are the most fucked up person on this motherfucking planet in terms of a race, in terms of our economic structure, in terms of us being, you know, in the judicial system. You know, law, labor, education, politics, religion. We're the last at the bottom of the barrel in every angle of society today. And this the fucked up part. You run to the white man's religion that he set out for you. You know, you run to his religion, his white God, and think his white God that put you in oppression in the first place, that you're gonna ask the white God to take you out of the oppression and to you know, ask his motherfucking people to break bread with you evenly. That's some insane shit. And you know, a lot of us go out our way to go to church, to go to the mosque, to go to these temples, to receive the same information. It's nothing different. It's the same shit every week with the same motherfucking results every week. It's a church on every goddamn corner, doing the same shit, playing the same songs, reading out the same scriptures, saying the same thing over and over and over again, and we get the same motherfucking results. Nothing has changed. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing has changed. You know, because the change comes within. Because everything that you're looking for outside of yourself is inside of you, including God. And until we understand that and believe that and begin to live that and act on that and function on that frequency and that particular energy, we're not going to move forward. I don't give a fuck what you say. You know, let's help these motherfucking babies, man. Let's help these children instead of criticizing them, because they want to find the things in life too. That's why they're out there. You know, you ask the average young youth out there that's hustling, they don't really want to be out there because they know what comes with that shit. Jail and death. They don't want to be out there for real. But they want to eat. They want to go to the basketball game. They want to go and take their mother, give their mother a birthday present, something decent. You know, they want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like young adults too. So we have to begin to stop being selfish and stop criticizing them, because that's what the cracker wants you to do. Criticize them so you won't even be thinking about what they're doing with our motherfucking babies. You won't even care. And rid yourself of that. Get out here and be a part and partial, you know, said work of the uplifting of our people, not just the youth, but all of us. And I hope I reach somebody. I hope somebody feels this. And I'm gonna get back with y'all in a few more hours. Peace, Black Power.